And we're here with Missouri Southern men's basketball coach Robert Korn for the 2013 Missouri Southern men's basketball preview. Coach Korn, thank you for showing up today, and I appreciate your help here.
Thank you, Justin.
All right. Talk about your team here. Well, give me your outlook for this season. What do you expect out of your players, and what do you hope to accomplish this year?
Well, number one, in the recruiting process after last year's season, we felt like we had to get bigger. And we felt like we've done that, bringing in Slim McGee, who's 6'10", bringing in Brandon Pines, who will probably redshirt this year, but he gives us a big body to go against in practice. And hopefully Greg Renfro will be improved from where he was last year, and we'll be able to move Jordan Talbert to a more familiar four spot this year. So I feel good about the transition, what we're going through right there. And I think that's a big place to start with, because defensively we were not able to get out and deny like we want to because we didn't have anybody protecting the goal. This year with Slim and Jordan per se, we feel like we've got some guys who can protect the basket.
Last year you make the conference tournament again. It's another consecutive year for you, but the record wasn't really probably what you were looking for. What's the team going to need to do this year to be more competitive in the league?
Well, there's no doubt we finished 13-15 last year, and that obviously wasn't where we wanted to be after having years of 26-5 and 22-8 and going to the NCAA tournament, winning a conference championship, playing for a conference championship. That's where we want to be each and every year. But we got stuck into the situation where we didn't have any seniors on the team. We lost a lot of games where we just couldn't finish them off. And I think with bringing some experienced players in, such as Slim, as I mentioned earlier, Mark Braden, another guy who we feel like is going to help us. Lane Barlow is another guard who we feel like is going to help us. We feel like we've gotten a lot more physical and a lot bigger, and not only just underneath, but on the outside as well. So we feel like we put ourselves in a position where defensively we can get out and do some things we want to do, and offensively we'll have more guys to go to this year. Last year it was pretty well Marcus who led us in scoring, and then Jordan, and we really struggled to find that number 3 scorer for us. This year we feel like we've got some guys who can step up and be that number 3 scorer for us.
You returned the entire team from a season ago. And how important is experience, leadership, and just general familiarity with each other going to be for this team's success this year?
Well, I think there's no doubt that we've got a lot of guys who understand the league, and they know how tough our league is each and every year, and how you can't take any nights off. If you do, you're going to set yourself up for a disappointment. So we have an understanding of that, and I think it's been important for some of our returning players to kind of get their feet wet last year, and now they understand what they have to do, and it's important for them to step up and be a little bit more of a contributor than what they were last year.
You bring in former University of Kansas basketball player Nick Bradford as a new assistant coach this year. Tell us what Nick will be doing and what he brings to the table.
Well, there's no doubt. I had Ronnie Russell on my staff for 11-12 seasons. He played for me, so he knew exactly what we were doing, and Ronnie moved over to the women's side. We're fortunate that we have Jeff Boschee, who is going on his 4th year for us. So I've got someone who's got the experience and understands what we want to do with our program, and he's helped lead our team playing for conference championship, NCAA bids, those type of things, which we want to do. And I felt like it's very important to bring someone who would have really good chemistry with Jeff. And there's no doubt that Jeff and Nick are very good friends, but more importantly, they both have the similar type of philosophies. Nick is bringing some new things to the table for us as far as the big guys. He's doing a great job working with those guys, and I think each and every one of our big guys are going to benefit from having Nick working with them.
Looking at the schedule, you have tournaments in Las Vegas and at Pitt State. Then you've got Fort Smith, Ottawa at home, and then you also have Arkansas Tech there in December. What do these types of games do to help you getting into that MIAA schedule?
Well, there's no doubt the Las Vegas trip where we play St. Mary's in eastern New Mexico will really set the standard as far as where we are as a basketball team. St. Mary's was a very good team last year. We played eastern New Mexico in the Texas A&M tournament last year and got beat by them. So we're playing 2 good opponents. And if we can get out there and compete and have some success against those teams, we feel like we're definitely headed in the right direction. Obviously coming right back home and playing Fort Smith, which is a very good team. will again give us that gauge where we need to be. And we were fortunate that we were able to put Arkansas Tech in the schedule after the Christmas break before we go to Emporia to play them for our last game before the Christmas break. So I think we've got a very challenging schedule. I think it's one that our guys are certainly looking forward to, and there's no doubt that we will be tested once we get into conference play.
You bring back 4 seniors, including a couple returning All-MIAA players. What do you expect out of your upperclassmen this year?
Well, when you start with our basketball team, obviously Marcus and Jordan is where you start with. Marcus has been an all-conference player for us for the last couple of years. Jordan has received all-conference mention. So those guys have been a part of teams that won conference championship, going to the NCAA tournament. So they are hungry to get back there. They were not satisfied with where we were last year, and those guys are the ones who we expect to kind of set the tone for us this year and be our leaders. Matt Everson has got a lot of playing time last year. Obviously, you know, the last 2 years, so he understands. He's been in the NCAA tournament. He knows what it takes, and we expect him to be a key contributor as well. And then our 4th senior is a new guy, Slim McGee, who we talked about earlier, will give us that inside presence, particularly on defense, that we definitely needed.
Mm-hmm. And you talked about him a little bit earlier, but let's talk about some of your newcomers. Talk about Slim, talk about Elaine, and let's talk about some of your newcomers and what you expect out of them.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, one thing we felt like we had to do was get bigger, and not just height-wise, but physical. We needed to get a little bit more physical basketball team, because that's what the MIAA is all about, is being physical. And when you look at our team, Slim is about 6'10", 6'11". He's long. He only weighs about 205. But he is really a good shot blocker. He's a good rebounder. He can finish around the basket. He can step out on the floor and shoot the 15-foot jump shot. So he gives you some versatility there. And then our other big guy that we brought in was Brandon Pines, and we're going to redshirt Brandon this year because we've got Slim and Greg Renfro in that 5 spot, and that way we'll save Brandon, so Slim will just have 1 year, and he can move in that spot the following 2 years and have 2 good years for us. And then Mark Braden and Lane Barlow are 2 guys. Again, you know, we had to get physical on the outside, and we brought in 2 strong guys. We feel like we can get out and pressure the basketball better. We feel like we can be stronger with the ball. We can get in the lane and finish some shots off. We can take the bump and still finish the play, and that's where we had trouble with last year.
Well, you start your season, you've got a couple exhibition games at Missouri State and University of Arkansas. It's nice for the teams to get to go in and play in front of the big crowd in a big arena. Talk about what that kind of atmosphere does to help this team.
Well, that's one thing we've always tried to do, is play 1 or 2 Division I exhibition games, and we've been very fortunate that we've played some outstanding teams. No doubt, when you play Missouri, and we played them 4 times. We've played University of Illinois, we played Tulsa, we played Oral Roberts, we played Indiana State, Southern Illinois University, and this year we're playing Missouri State for the 2nd time, and we're playing Arkansas for the 1st time. So our guys are excited about those opportunities, because throughout the course of the year, that will be teams that we will be watching on TV, and our guys can sit back and have a little fun. Hopefully they'll make a good play against a certain guy where they'll say, yeah, I did such and such against that guy. So it's always an exciting time for us to go in those venues and play those type of games. So we're certainly appreciative of Missouri State and Arkansas for allowing us to do that, because they're getting calls all the time from people wanting to do that. So we feel good about they have enough respect for our program to allow us to come in and play. Coach, season starts November 8th against St. Mary's out in the Las Vegas tournament. Good luck. Thank you, Justin. That was head coach Robert Korn in a 2013-14 Missouri Southern men's basketball season preview.